2021. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we're just going to jump right in.
Okay, so this meeting's value again is leadership, same as last time. But diving in a little bit deeper, leadership is something that we're asked for a lot in job and internship applications. So it's super high demand for like literally any job type, any industry, but it's a really broad term. So it can be difficult to understand where to start. So if you're thinking about wanting to grow as a leader or develop your leadership skills, some specific traits or skills that you can work on are honesty, communication skills, integrity, decision-making, motivating or inspiring others, and passion. And I'll send those in the chat, but those are just something to keep in mind in your everyday life that you can develop, challenge yourself, and think of ways to develop those specific leadership skills.
You all know the drill. If you want to keep connected with FWIB, join the GroupMe using this QR code. You can scan it and be connected with all members, not just eBoard, and ask questions about classes, clubs, etc., anything. And that is our Instagram over there. You should be following us already, but if you're not, it is at FWIBUF.
Other ways to stay connected with us is through our Facebook group and page, scanning the QR code here. This is a great way to keep updated with all our events and all of our announcements. We pretty much update you guys on basically everything through these platforms. So keeping up with that is a really great tool, as well as our websites. Our GBMs are actually all recorded and uploaded to the website too. So if there's anything that you missed or want to go back to, it's all free on our website there.
Hi guys, so like I've said before, if you do use StudyEdge or want to use StudyEdge, you can definitely use our code FWIB, and 5% of all purchases that you make goes directly to FWIB. And then always make sure to follow us on LinkedIn. That's where we put all of the workshops afterwards. So if you aren't able to make it, you could definitely see the slides there. So do that as well.
So we do have 2 shirts open for purchase. We have the Women Empowerment shirt and also our member shirt on the top right. Our member shirt is $15 and you can Venmo Maddie for that. And then our Women Empowerment shirt is also $18 and you can also Venmo Maddie for that. You do get points for owning these t-shirts, and I'm going to be having a member shirt and Women Empowerment shirt delivery this Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. and I'll post that in the GroupMe and on the Facebook for you guys to fill out. And then we also have a Norman Tunnel mural coming up this March 24th from 4 to 5 p.m.
Hello, everyone. So, Professional Headshot Fundraiser Part 2. Right now, we're planning on it being March 18th because a lot of us are dealing with exams and stuff right now, so we had to push it back a little bit. But we'll send the sign up in the GroupMe and let you all know if something changes. But that's that for right now. Also, so our group just decided today in the Finance Committee that we will be participating in the Hefner Student Investment Challenge. So if you're not necessarily in the Finance Committee, please go ahead, send me a direct message. You can also just send me a message in GroupMe or right now if you're interested, so that I can send you more information about that. And then lastly here, well, we've got a couple things. I've got the GoFundMe, so I'll send the link in the chat. If you know somebody who wants to support FWIB or you want to support FWIB, go ahead and send them the GoFundMe link. Okay, next. Okay, also, if you attended Savings in the Swamp, thank you so much. I know I learned a ton, especially about investing from JP Morgan. So if you stayed through the entire event, we know who you are. We're going to be giving out those goodie bags coming out soon. We are waiting on some totes. Surprise, surprise. But yes, so we will be getting that out to you. And again, look out for that message in the GroupMe. I might also just direct message you if that's easier to get y'all's attention. But that's it for finance. Thank you all.
Alrighty, hi everyone. So now some community service announcements. So next Monday from 5:30 to 6:15, we're going to be having an event called Crafts for Shelters. So we had this last semester, and it's basically We're going to be using old scraps like t-shirts, toilet paper rolls, socks, water bottles, some scissors, some tape to decorate. And all of the things are going to be used to make toys for cats and dogs. And then ideally you guys would, take it to your local animal shelter if you're not in Gainesville. Next, we're also going to be having a spring food drive. A sign-up sheet is coming, but essentially there will be time slots where you can put your name, so that way you can go drop off any items you would like to donate, such as food, canned goods, non-perishables. And we're still deciding on where we want to donate. So if you guys are very passionate about a specific organization in Gainesville, please let me know in the chat and we will try to work with them. And this is going to be from March 15th, so next week, until March 26th. So it's about a 2-week time slot. And now I'm going to be passing it off to my chair, Madison.
Hi guys, so for some Gainesville events, there's a big event coming up on March 20th. Registration closes on the 19th. And essentially it's a citywide community service day at UF. And then at 8 a.m. we'll be meeting in Flavitt Field. And I'm planning on going, so if anyone else is interested, feel free to reach out. And then thanks to Emily for giving us this idea to put out campus beautification. Locations are still to be determined, but that'll be on March 19th and April 2nd at 10:30 and then 1:30. And then Grace volunteering, that'll take place, the virtual orientation will be the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. And then from there you can sign up for any of their events throughout the month, which include clothes donation sorting and then also gardening.
Okay, so next, some updates on Relay for Life. So we still have $114 raised. So guys, make sure if you're on our team or if you haven't joined, you can use that QR code to join and share the link, to family, friends, class, group me's, so anyone can donate. So the in-person event is going to be Friday, March 19th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And it's going to be on campus in Wrights during Gator Nights. And the theme for this year is superheroes. And there will be a virtual component, but we're still waiting, they're still working out the details of that. But once I get that information, I'll share that with everyone.
All right, so some professional development announcements. We're gonna, with popular demand, have another LinkedIn workshop this semester. It's gonna be March 18th from 6 to 7 p.m. And then also some exciting news. So diving deep into diversity. So if you didn't go or weren't able to last semester, basically at this event, we invite professionals in the workplace, and they essentially speak about their personal experiences and just about diversity and inclusion, as well as equity, accessibility, social justice. So we tend to talk about those kind of topics, and it's just really nice to hear people in the workplace and what they have to say about everything. So some speakers so far is Google, Accenture, AUDIT, also PepsiCo, and then probably forgetting a few, but there's some in the progress in the works, but definitely make it if you can. And that's from 5:30 to 7 p.m. on Thursday, March 25th. And all of this will be out in Facebook soon. And then I'll just pass it to Helena if she wants to go ahead and talk about these.
Hi, thanks, Kosha. Hi, everyone. So we have 2 opportunities for everyone, including underclassmen, this meeting. The first one was with ZUP, and I think I'm saying that right. And you would be a sales intern for their startup. It's a local Gainesville-based startup that works a lot with connecting college students to deals and experiences in Gainesville. So it would be like, it's an app from what I understand. And then with a subscription, you would get all of these really interesting deals and good offers for Gainesville restaurants. It would be 25 hours a week at least, and during the summer. And one serious requirement is that you do have a vehicle to get you around Gainesville, just because you would be in charge of, working with local businesses and getting them to sign up for the application. And then we'll send the link in the chat in a little bit. And this is open to business, marketing, communication, and hospitality majors. And then again, another requirement, like I've said before, is having a vehicle. And then the second opportunity that we have is actually a degree workshop by CAP mentors, which will be happening in just a few days, actually, from 3 to 4 on March 10th. And it'll just be a big info session about the different types of marketing careers, entry-level positions, and personal branding and creating a resume. When we'll also have the RSVP link in the chat. The first application is actually for ZUP. It's through LinkedIn. And for the workshop, you would be RSVPing through Higher Warrington. And that's it.
Olivia, take it away.
Oops, this is me. Hey guys, as you guys have heard me talk about before, FWIB has a resume book that you can upload. Something happened. That you can upload your resume to, that we can send to our corporate sponsors. So if you haven't already, make sure to upload your resume to our resume book using that QR code.
I deeply apologize for that.
Hello, ladies. Okay, so just one event for me, or like announcement for me this week, but we're gonna have our 5th social this Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. We'll be coloring and chilling and chatting, and it is Women's History Month themed, so it should be like extra fun and cool, and I think it'll be a fun time. I enjoy to color, and yeah, that's all I got.
Hi, everybody. We are talking eco-friendly alternatives for our sustainability portion of the GBM today. And Teresa's presenting, right? You can just click ahead. I put some animations. Well, not click once. Yeah. Okay, so one eco-friendly alternative. Oh, well, I could go into what eco-friendly alternatives are first, just that, like, you know, they're more sustainable options for everyday items that you use. And one thing that we all use is body wash and soap and everything. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do use like body wash that comes in a plastic container and everything. This is the one that I used to use and everything. But an alternative is, there you go. I knew that you'd pick it up. Using bars. And I think in the picture, those are actually shampoo bars, which is what the Sustainability Committee and I were talking more about. These are friendlier alternatives because they're wrapped in paper. And also usually I would say that where I find shampoo bars and body bars are in stores that, you know, use organic things to make it, and maybe even like local businesses. So that's always a really good alternative to try out. Yeah, and one thing that we all use, of course, is paper towels. And I was debating whether or not I should include this in the presentation just because it sounds kind of silly. But that's definitely something that I personally like go through like crazy so easily, but just something as simple as putting paper towel. No, it's gonna pop up. I don't know. Just towels. Towels like hanging on the oven, for example, in my kitchen. After I finish, just like my hands are wet from washing dishes, rather than ripping a paper towel, using that towel that's there, rewashing it makes such a huge difference in the long run. And that's just a friendly reminder, of course. Another one is using plastic bags. And we've all heard this one before. When you go grocery shopping, you could try to bring some reusable grocery bags, for example, the one that's going to pop up now. And FWIB is actually going to have a tote soon. So you could be repping FWIB at Publix and Aldi's all semester once that comes in. And another idea that came in that it's the same, it's another eco-friendly alternative for plastic bags, are one of these, just because like all tote bags can be like, they can be fashionable, they can be cute, but this is one that I would actually just buy to put a fit together. So if you want to keep going grocery shopping and find an eco-friendly alternative, that is a great option. And I have one more slide and I'll go through these a little quicker. This is just gift wrap, and we all give gifts to our friends. I actually ask my friends, well, I don't ask them, they just kind of know that I don't like, you know, they don't have to wrap it for me. A good alternative, first one that I'm going to show is wrapping in even like old newspapers, using things like twine. Over here, like I've seen what's becoming a lot more popular is using things like cloth to wrap it. And you can see there, it looks super cute, especially around the holidays, very Christmas brown paper wrapping vibes. And there's one more that I definitely love to do when I give gifts is to just give it in like those storage boxes as like, you know, gift basket, kind of like at Five Below at the Dollar Tree. They have these and they look cute too. And they can keep it forever, whoever you're giving the gift to. Loofahs are actually, you know, they're completely made of plastic. They're not the best, but we all do need to stay clean, and a great alternative is actually a natural loofah sponge. It's the same concept, but this is actually 100% plant fiber. And another one, if you're not into that, just because the texture, you know, it's very particular, is silicone. And this is actually like a new concept to me even, but this is, you don't have to throw it away, because those first loofahs that I showed you, definitely you run through them, like you're supposed to like buy new ones all the time, but this, you don't have to. And it's really cool. Last one, plastic. I don't know, forks, cups, knives, plates, all that stuff could definitely just be replaced with Tupperware. And that's a friendly reminder, because I'm sure we all know this, but you know, you could become a part of the solution. There you go. Thank you guys.
Hello. Okay, so today's FWIBtivity is called Picasso. Basically, if you don't have like pen or paper around or like handy, you can definitely just like use your phone or like your tablet or whatever on like notes or Snapchat even. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw a line or a squiggle, and then everyone is gonna have 90 seconds to make that into a picture, and then we're all gonna share. That's literally it. So don't draw your squiggle yet. Don't cheat. Okay, we'll do 90 seconds once we get into the breakout room. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Okay, all right, welcome back everyone. So for today's speaker, we have Madeline from Sherwin-Williams. So Madeline, you can take over, share your screen, do everything that you need to.
Awesome, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being here and staying for my presentation to learn a little bit more about Sherwin-Williams. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So give me just a moment. I'm going to turn it on. Is it presentation mode? All right, let me go back. All right, can everyone see it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. Well, once again, thank you so much. As Olivia said, I'm Madeline. I am the area recruiter for Sherwin-Williams. So I sit out of our Southeast Division office up in Atlanta, Georgia, but I cover recruitment for all of our Florida area as well as the Caribbean area. Really what I want to do the next 15 minutes is kind of share a little bit about myself, my background, kind of quickly go over that, share a little bit more about the company and some of the positions that we have available. If anyone has any questions as I'm going through the presentation, please feel free to unmute yourself and interject. I have no problem with that at all. I want you to hopefully take away something from this and hopefully learn something or get all your questions answered that you'd like to know. So feel free to keep it really casual, but certainly we'll have some time for questions at the end also. So again, I'm Madeline. This is a little bit about me. I just adopted a puppy from the shelter, and she is precious. So I didn't waste any time broadcasting her everywhere. I'm actually a Florida State graduate. I graduated in 2016. And I'll share it a little bit later. I actually worked for FSU for a little bit after I graduated. And I moved to downtown West Palm, and both my roommates were Gators. So just a little tie-in. Just some more about me. I'm originally from Wellington, Florida, if anyone knows where that is. And then grew up, like I said, once I graduated, I lived in downtown West Palm. So just love that area. I had a lot of fun there. We live super close to the beach, and I never thought of myself as a beach person or never loved the beach. But now that I'm in Atlanta, I kind of miss it, miss being so close. then I love theater, Broadway. I love watching SNL, just comedy in general. And I am a huge Taylor Swift fan. So that's just a little bit about me from kind of a more personal standpoint. And then professionally, I added a little bit in about my time in college, and I was sharing with Olivia, like, I'm so impressed with you all being, organizing this meeting and coming here. And I think what you're doing now demonstrates what strong leaders you all are. And I think the more that you're able to engage with organizations like this and participate, even though things are virtual, in these types of things, these meetings and these events are so huge, and it'll be so beneficial to you personally and professionally. You'll be able to, as a recruiter, I always ask behavioral based interview questions, and being able to share these experiences in an interview is huge. But again, more from like a personal standpoint, like you will gain so many skills from these experiences. And I was really involved with Panhellenic in college. I was involved with student government. I interned at our Career Services Center and had, a couple other organizations that I was involved with when I was at Florida State. I did spend a summer interning in New York. Looking back, it was kind of like a crazy thing because I interned and it was not a paid internship. And so I was, fortunate that I was able to do it. And I actually ended up taking a serving job in New York too. I was there at night, and it was one of my favorite jobs that I've ever had. And the internship was awesome too. I worked for FSU, like I mentioned, after I graduated in the admissions office, was there for about 2.5 years, and didn't really see myself having a career in admissions. I loved what I did. I worked remotely, and I traveled all around South Florida and talked to high school students about Florida State. And it was a really rewarding position. I really enjoyed a lot of aspects of it. But again, what I was looking for was just somewhere that I could really grow my career. And I also was a little bit ready to leave Florida. So I was looking in Atlanta and then came across this opportunity with Sherwin Williams. The recruiter actually reached out to me on LinkedIn, and absolutely loved everyone that I talked to. Was really excited about the company as a whole. Just the culture, that the more that I learned about everything that Sherwin Williams does, it just was really interesting to me. And I'll talk more about the positions that I recruit for in just a minute, but it's all around been an awesome company, an awesome experience so far. I never thought that I'd be working for a paint company, but it's been amazing. And I started off covering what we call our West area, which is Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. And then took over our Florida territory. And then now I have Florida and the Caribbean. So you might be wondering, well, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana seems like a lot more ground to cover than just Florida. So Florida is actually our biggest area in the entire company. So Florida is broken down into 8 districts, and all of our districts in Florida are like within the top 15 districts in the company in terms of sales volume and just opening new stores. So there is a lot of growth opportunity in Florida in general, and certainly with Sherwin Williams. So I just put this little tip at the bottom because I, in college was involved in a lot of different things. I worked as a server, I worked in admissions, and now, I was kind of in a recruiting capacity there. And I just think you never know, like when you graduate, you might think that your, career will look one way, and then you get a position and it'll totally change your mind and your outlook on, what you want to do, and we'll figure out what you're really good at. And, your interests might, or your, ideas of what you want to do will change. And I think that, you know, it's something that will continually evolve over time. And as a recruiter, I always let candidates know I'm not looking for a particular major or, you know, a certain thing on your resume saying like, oh, I'm a business salesperson. Really what we're looking for is your leadership ability. What I'm looking for is your leadership ability, your ability to build relationships, have a conversation, interact with people. And, you know, I think a lot of times like being a server, being in sales, or like in retail sales, you know, you handle a lot of different situations, a lot of difficult situations. And I always find that really, you know, that really stands out to me in an applicant. So, so don't feel like you have to have it all figured out. You know, your plans may change, your career path may change over time. And I think you just have to embrace it and learn everything that you can from every opportunity that comes your way. So now let's kind of talk about Sherwin-Williams. If you're anything like I was, you know, kind of mindset-wise before I started with Sherwin-Williams, I thought Sherwin-Williams was just the place where my parents went and dragged me along with them when they were repainting their house or redoing their kitchen. Turns out I realized Sherwin-Williams does way more than that. People like my parents are only 20% of our customers. The other 80% are contractors or small business owners who work on large scale projects. So let's say I always use this example and try to make it relevant, like University of Florida is getting a new residence hall or a new student union or repainting their football stadium. Whatever company or whichever contractors are working on that project, they'll come to their local Sherwin-Williams store, get their product for that job. And you think like, that's a huge project. So they'll come in every day, you know, maybe a few times a week to see you get their products. So you get to build really strong relationships with them. So I think a really rewarding part of this job too, you know, being an employee with Sherwin-Williams is that you get to watch small business owners, you get to help their businesses grow. And I think that's something that I love hearing about from our store managers and sales reps and district managers, are those stories about these amazing projects that their customers are working on. Over in Melbourne, they do like the Kennedy Space Center and SpaceX and things of that nature. And in Orlando, we have a contract with Universal and Islands of Adventure. So we paint the rides there. And we do protective coatings as well. We do cars, all kinds of things. So I'll talk about that later as well. But just to give you like more of a perspective of some of the things that we do. We are growing pretty rapidly, which is really exciting. We're really fortunate that even during the past year, we've been able to remain really stable as a company and continue with our plans to open more stores. And in the US, we have almost 5,000 stores now. Florida's expanding really fast and we're in over 120 countries. So we're global. One of the human resources managers that I work with, she was abroad for a year in London. So there are those opportunities to go international or to work internationally with us. And, you know, we have over 60,000 employees. We think that is so many people, but Sherwin-Williams finds ways to make the company feel much smaller than it is. We promote over 90% from within. So, you know, as you move around in your career, you'll come across people who you met at a national sales meeting or one of our women's resource group meetings or something. We're really tight knit and we definitely find ways to keep our employees connected. Even now, you know, virtually, we've still done a really great job of doing that. So I'll kind of go through this relatively quickly. Don't want to bore you all too much, but this is just kind of showing a breakdown of all the different parts of our business. So what I recruit for are positions under the Americas group. That's kind of that area that I talked about before, all of our paint stores. That's, 55% of our business. It's a pretty big chunk. We have our consumer brands group. So those are all of our separate products that we manufacture and distribute to some of our brand partners like Ace Hardware and Walmart. So if you see any of these brands, they are under the Sherwin-Williams umbrella. And then we have our performance coatings group. So performance coatings group is going to be a lot of random things that you wouldn't have thought Sherwin-Williams does. And that's more of like our protective coatings. So like the inside of like a can of Coca-Cola or a can of soup or a can of beer or, cars, ships. We have a military equipment division, bridges, things like that. We do all of that as well. And this is just showing, our sales reps, how many sales reps we employ in North America, how many stores we have, which we kind of talked about. And I know University of Florida has a pretty strong, just a strong business program in general, and also an international business program. Especially in Florida, it's such a diverse state, and there's just an increasing demand, I think, to be culturally aware and to be, very business minded from, just a lot of different standpoints. So it's definitely, that's always, something that is attractive to me. If you do have that experience in international business, you are able to speak another language, you have, an ability to understand, or I guess, to other cultures, or, the way that other countries do business and operate. So just wanted to throw that out there. So kind of talked about this, our different consumer brands groups, our strategic retail partners. You can see Sherwin-Williams products at a lot of these stores. We kind of just talked about this as well, just all the different segments of the business. And this means too, there's a lot of opportunities to go into a lot of divisions. So if you were to come on board with Sherwin-Williams in our tag division, which is what I recruit for, later on in your career, you could go into our automotive division or our protective and marines coatings division or packaging. There's a lot of different segments and which means there's a lot of different opportunities later on in your career. And something that's really unique about Sherwin-Williams is we see everything from front to end. So for the very beginning stage of the product, the research and development, like actually formulating the products, we do that at our research lab up in Cleveland, Ohio, where we're headquartered, and handle all the way through. So we have our own truck fleet, and that's really unique to us as well. We control every aspect of the supply chain, of the distribution, to get it to the ultimate customer. So just wanted to highlight some of the ways that we give back. And yeah, I really enjoyed the section earlier in your meeting where you're talking about different ways to be sustainable. That's definitely something that's important to us. And like I mentioned, because we are able to control every step of our processes, we are also finding more ways to be sustainable and create sustainable products and safer products. If you look at every year, we have new product launches, and I always get excited. And, our paints are just, getting more and more environmentally friendly, and we have a self-cleaning paint. So it's really cool to see all the things that we're doing kind of in that space, from just the paint itself, but then from the distribution standpoint as well, just to be more efficient and more sustainable. This is obviously a little outdated. 2018, we gave over $6.2 million. I'm not sure how much that includes like other paints that we donated. We do a lot of that, especially through our official National Painting Week. Unfortunately, we weren't able to have our National Painting Week like we normally do, but that is really an opportunity for each district to find an organization that they're really passionate about or really care about, and donate their time and our paint to go to the site, whether it's a school, a women's shelter, an animal shelter, and they get to really refurbish it, repaint it. That's always something that we look forward to. But a lot of our employee resource groups do a really amazing job of finding ways to engage in the community and finding ways to give back. So our women's resource group is our longest standing group in the company, and it's definitely our strongest because it's been around for so long. They do so many amazing events. Like they were doing food drives all throughout COVID, clothing drives, and they do it all throughout their districts and organize it on their own and make a really positive impact in their communities. If you were to join Sherwin-Williams in the future, I would recommend seeking out the employee resource groups, especially the women's resource group. It's really such a great way to find amazing mentors and learn from leaders across our division. We actually had a panel a couple weeks ago that went really well, and there are a couple students from University of Florida who were on it. So I'm not sure if anyone who's on here now was able to attend, but it was really cool to just hear their stories and just hear from the women's resource group. I'll kind of go to the next slide now. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of our early talent programs. Again, I only recruit for our management and sales training program and our internship program under the stores division or the tag division. So I'll speak to that. And then if there's any other positions that as I'm going through really quickly that catch your eye, take a quick note of it. I'm happy to get you in touch with the right recruiter. We do have a lot of different since we have a lot of different divisions, they all kind of have their own training programs. So it gets a little confusing. So happy to share some additional information with any of those once again. So the management sales training program, the program that I recruit for, you spend essentially 6 to 8 weeks, or approximately 6 to 8 weeks in one of our Sherwin-Williams trading stores within the area that you are living in or applied to. You're learning all about our business. So all about how we operate and manage a multi-million-dollar store or sales territory. You'll learn so much about paint, more than you thought that you could probably know. And then about who our customers are. So you'll learn how to build relationships with them. You'll learn about their businesses. And that's also a lot of fun. And once you've completed that training, you'll go to Sherwin-Williams University, and Sherwin-Williams University is a time for you to meet with different business leaders from across our division. So you'll hear from someone in HR, finance, risk management, our safety division, learn about what they do, how they'll support you. And it's also a great way to think about, okay, like maybe I could see myself in that position, years down the road. And, you build that connection and you're able to network with them during that time. It used to be in person, but it's virtual through Microsoft Teams now, but it's super interactive. It's a great way to still network and engage virtually. And we hope that in the future, it'll be maybe starting off limited in person if you want to. And then hopefully one day all back to full time. And then you'll be placed as an assistant store manager anywhere within the district that you applied into. Usually you're in that position for about 18 months until you move up into a store management position or get promoted into a sales rep position, an outside sales rep position, so kind of be more in the field. We're open to all majors. Again, like I mentioned before, I don't really care too much about what your major is. I'm more interested in your experience. If you have customer service skills, you're entrepreneurial minded, you enjoy working with people, I always say like it could be a really good opportunity for you. The internship that we offer, did not have the separate slide for that, but if there is anyone on the call who's graduating this like August or after, you could be a candidate for the internship. I always say that the internship is like a test drive for the management and sales training program. It's 10 weeks part-time, it's paid, you learn a lot of the same things that you learn in the MTP program. It's just condensed so that it's a little more palatable over 10 weeks. But you get to work on a special project that you present to our vice president of sales, our area HR manager, and all 8 of our district managers. And it's a real life business challenge that we present to you that you will then find a solution to. So in the past, the ideas that our interns have came up with have actually resulted in real business changes. So you have that ability to make a big impact as an intern. We have our sales development program. That's kind of that division I was sharing that's based in like a Lowe's or like with our strategic business partners. You kind of oversee 4 to 5 stores, working very closely with our sales rep. So if being a sales rep was more of what you immediately were interested in, this could be a really good opportunity. The sales development leadership program is going to be based in Cleveland, Ohio to start off. And then you would be placed somewhere within our division. So this one's a little bit unique because it's with one of our other business departments. It's a rotational program too. So you could get, several different placements throughout your time in the program. Research and development. So if anyone's in chemistry, engineering, material science, anything like that, this would be a program for you. So you'd actually be in Cleveland at our headquarters working in our research and development labs. We have an IT rotational program. This would also be in Cleveland, Ohio. We have an accelerated development program. So this is kind of if you are wanting a little bit more of everything. You have, as it says at the top, supply chain, HR, quality, engineering, environmental health and safety. You get a little bit of all of that. And it would be partially, you would do a little bit of training up in Cleveland, but we do have, it's, again, at the bottom, over 60 sites that you could be placed into across the US. Operations, again, this is another division that kind of has their own MTP program essentially. And this would be more under our automotive division, protective and marine coatings. And then we have a field audit program. So if you're an accounting major, finance major, you're interested in that kind of area of the business specifically, starting off, you would travel throughout one of our territories, go to a few different stores throughout the week. It's a lot of travel at first. It would kind of be remote, and then it does lead into full-time opportunity. Well, this is a full-time opportunity, but it would lead into opportunities in our office as a auditor in finance. So just something to think about if you are in that kind of area of the business, or if you are interested in that area of the business specifically. And then this is just my contact information. So, oh, sorry, that does not look great. Did not get centered, but anyway, that's my email. Feel free to jot it down if you have any other questions about anything that we went over or that I went over today. And you want to ask me individually, please reach out. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I post a lot about events and career fairs coming up. So definitely send me a request or follow me if you're interested. But I really appreciate you all, again, staying on the call and taking the time to learn a little bit more about our organization. And if you have any questions, definitely happy to take them. So if you want to unmute yourself, feel free to go for it. But if no one has questions, again, welcome you to email me individually.
Thank you so much, Madeline. So unfortunately, we don't have time for questions right now. But if anyone has any questions and wants to stay on the Zoom call after we close out of the, or after we have our final closing slide of the meeting, feel free to stay on and Madeline can answer any questions you have, or you can definitely email her. But Teresa, feel free to take back over and do our final slides.
Amazing. Sweta, go ahead and take it away.
Hello guys, so here's our feedback form. If you guys could scan it and please fill it out. It lets us know how you like our events and everything that we do. And it's also an extra point, so please fill it out and let us know what you think.
All right, that's it, everyone. Thank you all for coming and for staying as long as you did. And remember, if you have questions, feel free to just hang out for a bit, or you can email Madeline yourself on your own time. That's fine as well. Sorry, I went into a British accent, but our next meeting is going to be March 23rd. Hope to see you then.